life for freelance at the moment has become a lot harder because freelance budgets have been cut. This, however, is something of a surprise because early on in the kind of digital revolution we were expecting that actually good specialists, and that includes a lot of freelancers, would actually rise in popularity. The internet drives a thirst for good specialised journalism, but of course newspapers are reluctant to cut staff. No editor wants to get rid of members of their team. So as the sort of structural changes have wreaked havoc in the newspaper industry, and as the recession has bitten, when budgets have been cut, it's generally been freelance budgets that have gone first in an effort to try and keep staff. So I think many freelancers are finding life very hard in the digital age, but it's actually being caused by a variety of things, probably not digital. And on the flip side, we've not really yet seen the rise of a good alternative means of, an alternative economy for freelancers. What we expected when we saw blogging rising and the ability for freelancers to publish direct to an audience was that they would find more ways to monetize that, to make money from advertising with subscriptions. That's not really happened for very many of them. It's happened for a few, but not really for very many so far.
Unfortunately, what we always see is that one of the first budgets to be cut is the freelance budget, because it's much easier just to cut that until the freelancers who don't want to do their work anymore then go through the process of having to make staff redundant. As time goes on, we have also seen, obviously, newspapers then making staff redundant. So both sides have been hit in a very impractical way, because obviously if you've got fewer staff, you're going to need to get content from somewhere. You need to get it from freelance journalists. That's not the idea that's abroad at the moment. More and more titles are starting to expect that they can get material for nothing, or next to nothing.
I think all elements of journalism are facing difficult times. Newspapers are, where they're getting advertising from. I think all broadcasters are. I think all elements of the media are facing cutbacks. And I think it's tough for young journalists. I sometimes talk to young journalists about their futures, and I think it's a very difficult environment they're going in. Now, the real challenge, I think, in news is where do you make the money? I think many newspapers are struggling because they're not sure about their advertising, and nobody's really yet grabbed hold of the internet age and worked out how they're going to make as much money as they used to in those days of just newspapers on their own and advertising. But I think one of the great things is that the young generation use all these things. I think you look at children in their teens, they know a lot of things about the world because they read them on the internet. They listen, they hear what's happening on Twitter. I think they're really engaged in news. So there's a job for us to provide them with that news. But somebody's got to work out how to make it profitable, and I think nobody has quite worked out how to make the internet profitable yet.
I think what any commissioning editor is trying to do is get something special and unique, and it might be that you're covering something which every other title's covering, but you want to try and get a piece of writing or a piece of coverage or video, whatever else that's unique to your media outlet. And so if increased connectivity of people that can contribute to you, and there's better links between those people and the commissioning desks, then I guess logic dictates that you're going to have more access to people who can provide you with that extra edge. Providing additional connectivity and offering commissioning editors more choice and making it easy for good people to show what they can do for titles, that's only going to be a good thing. That's making the market more efficient. And I think for good freelancers and for enterprise and commissioning editors, there's an opportunity right there.